A very good evening and welcome to Primetime News on TV1. Of course, as you all very well know, we're coming to you live and direct from the Newsfirst Christmas Centre here at the Echelon Square. And we've been here for quite a while now, and if you haven't been able to quite come down here and experience the festivities, trust me, you're missing out on a lot. So I know you're busy. This is a very busy time of the year, but please do make it a point to come down to the Newsfirst Christmas Centre here at the Echelon Square and share in this amazing ambience with us in this festive season. With that, first, let's start off with a news bulletin with a look at your top stories for this evening.
Namal writes on Twitter that Mahinda Rajapaksa will resign tomorrow. Supreme Court refuses to vacate the interim injunction issued by the Court of Appeal. UNP reiterates that the country should be brought back to normalcy. CID arrests 2 more Navy personnel over the abduction and assassination of 11 youth. US Senate passes resolution blaming Saudi prince for Jamal Khashoggi murder.
Now on your top story this evening, MP Namal Rajapaksa says on Twitter that former President Mahinda Rajapaksa has decided to resign from the premiership tomorrow following an address to the nation. Now coming on Twitter, the Namal Rajapaksa wrote, quote, "To ensure stability of the nation, former President Mahinda Rajapaksa has decided to resign from the premiership tomorrow after an address to the nation. The SLPP with the former president and the SLFP and others will now work to form a broader political coalition with President Sirisena."
The Supreme Court postponed today's case to the 16th and 17th of January. If the Prime Minister does not resign in some way, they will not be able to appoint a new Prime Minister. But the country should face whatever the changes that is going to take place in January. A budget will not be passed. There will not be a vote of account. And the country cannot move forward in this situation. So Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says that he will resign from his position as the Prime Minister following a special statement to the nation. Then the cabinet will be invalid. And when that happens, the President can appoint a new cabinet. What the Prime Minister is saying is, if I do not resign, everything else will get stalled and not let a new Prime Minister to be appointed. We are not in a position to make another decision without inconveniencing the President. He thought about the country and made this decision to resign and let the President form a government.
Now, the Supreme Court today did not vacate the interim injunction issued by the Court of Appeal restraining Mahinda Rajapaksa, his cabinet of ministers, deputy ministers and state ministers from functioning in their respective positions. Now, however, the Supreme Court granted special leave to appeal for the 4 petitions filed before the Supreme Court.
Justices Eva Vanasundara, Bhuvanika Aluvihare and Vijit Malalgoda considered the petitions that were filed against the interim injunction issued by the Court of Appeal. The Supreme Court decided to further hear the case on the 16th, 17th and 18th of January next year. All parties were informed to file written submissions within 3 weeks. Justice Eva Vanasundara informed the respondents to forward a request to the Chief Justice if they require a 5-judge bench instead of a 3-judge bench. The Justice also ordered the Registrar of the Supreme Court to forward this request to the Chief Justice. 122 MPs, including Ranil Wickremesinghe, filed a petition at the Court of Appeal on the 23rd of November against Mahinda Rajapaksa, his cabinet of ministers, deputy ministers and state ministers from functioning in their respective positions. The Court of Appeal considered the petition on the 3rd of December and issued an interim injunction preventing Mahinda Rajapaksa and his cabinet of ministers, deputy ministers and state ministers from functioning in their respective positions. Further examination of the petitions was fixed for the 16th, 17th and 18th of January. A group including Mahinda Rajapaksa filed 4 petitions at the Supreme Court requesting for the interim injunction issued by the Court of Appeal to be vacated. President's Counsel Romesh Silva, appearing on behalf of the petitioners, requested for the matter to be considered today as this involves a matter of public importance. He added that as per Article 132 of the Constitution, the Supreme Court must consider such matters and deliver a verdict within a period of 2 months. The President's Council added that the party of the respondents headed by Ranil Wickremesinghe have also accepted this. President's Counsel Gamini Marapana, appearing on behalf of Mahinda Rajapaksa, said that the Supreme Court has in the past, in their verdicts, pointed out that such petitions and appeals should be taken up without any delays and requested for the petition to be taken up today and for interim relief to be granted. President's Counsel K. Kanagiswaran appeared on behalf of Ranil Wickremesinghe, the first respondent named in the petition. He pointed out that the Court of Appeal issued the interim injunction after deciding that there is no legal right for Mahinda Rajapaksa and his government to function after 2 no-confidence motions have been passed in Parliament. Attorney at Law Suren Fernando stated in court that his client had submitted a motion to the Chief Justice to appoint a 5-judge bench that does not include Justice Eva Vanasundara to consider the petition. The attorney said that the request was submitted by his client as Justice Eva Vanasundara herself had stated during an interview that she is a close friend of Mahinda Rajapaksa. Responding to this statement, Justice Eva Vanasundara said that the motion submitted by Ranil Wickremesinghe was directed to the Chief Justice yesterday. She stressed that amid such a backdrop, as she has been appointed to consider the petition and deliver a verdict, she is duty-bound to do that. Justice Eva Vanasundara added that she delivers verdicts based on the law of the land and not based on individual faces or positions. Suren Fernando pointed out that once a no-confidence motion is passed in Parliament, the Prime Minister and the Cabinet of Ministers will cease to exist. The Council argued that as the matter involves an appointment and removal made in Parliament, such a matter can only be heard by the Court of Appeal. He went on to note that therefore the Supreme Court has no legal capability to consider a petition filed against the order. The Supreme Court considered the submissions of both parties and decided to take up the 4 petitions for consideration today. While Justice Eva Vanasundara will be retiring today, the Justice stated that she had never intended to do anything bad. Before leaving the court chambers, the Justice stated that she had fulfilled her duties respectfully.
Members of the UNP convened a meeting at the Temple Trees this evening over the current political situation in the country.
We expect to restore Parliament to its previous state as of the 26th of October and to restabilize our country. The UNP will not open doors to those who rejected democracy. I expect President Sirisena to invite Ranil Wickremesinghe to re-establish the government. Failing to do so will push our country into a deeper crisis. Remaining in the stance of not giving a leadership to Ranil Wickremesinghe, even if the whole country requests for it, is not a sign of a democratic leader.
A group of UPFA MPs convened a media briefing in Colombo today.
We want to take it to the People's Court. The Supreme Court verdict shows that this shouldn't be taken to the citizens of this country. The United National Party, former Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and the Tamil National Alliance have come together. They have come to an unhealthy agreement with the TNA, and that has been used to determine his political strategy. If it is okay to agree to this request that will go against the country and the history, showing a majority of 113 MPs is not a difficult task to Mahinda Rajapaksa. Ranil Wickremesinghe is doing what Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa is doing. The fact that the leader who does not care about the consequences these acts can bring to the country, being the ruler of the country, is dangerous.
The JVP convened a media briefing in Colombo today. A propaganda secretary of the party, Vijitha Herath, expressed these views on the current political situation in the country following the Supreme Court verdict on the dissolution of Parliament.
We will not support anyone from the position of Prime Minister. We will follow in Parliament the same principles that we have followed in the provincial councils and local government bodies. As a party, we will not support anyone to establish a government or become Prime Minister. If the UNP is thinking that Ranil Wickremesinghe can enjoy the court verdict, it is wrong. The defeat of this conspiracy through the verdict of the Supreme Court is not a victory for the UNP. This is a victory for the rule of law. This is a victory for the people. If this is interpreted the wrong way, there could be chaos in the country. This proves that everyone must work according to the law. The UNP is going to lose again after boasting about this. They speak of forming governments, but they are going to be rejected a second time. The person to be appointed should be decided by the President based on who he thinks has a majority in Parliament. But the president cannot decline appointing the person who has the majority in parliament. Therefore, if the 225 vote for that person in parliament, no matter how much the president dislikes this person and despite all personal grudges, this person should be appointed according to the constitution.
එයා පෞද්ගලිකව තමන්ගේ හතුරෙක් වුණත් ජනාධිපතිවරයා ව්‍යවස්ථාවට අනුව පත් කළ යුතුමයි.
Of course, as you all know, we are coming to you live and direct from the Newsfirst Christmas Centre at the Echelon Square here in Colombo. Now, of course, it's the festivities are right at hand. It's just a few more weeks till Christmas. And here at the Echelon Square, the festive celebrations are in full swing. We've been here for a couple of days now, but if you haven't got the chance to visit us as yet, we will be here throughout the entire month. Please do make it a point to come and join us and experience this amazing ambience at the Echelon Square, brought to you by Newsfirst. Of course, as you can see quite clearly, we have a band playing live music and carols being sung amidst other songs as well. This is an event for the entire family, children, parents, brothers and sisters. All of you are warmly welcome here at the Newsfirst Christmas Centre at the Echelon Square here in Colombo. Of course, getting back to our news bulletin this evening, a petition has been filed against former Chief Justice Sarath in Silva over contempt of court charges.
The petition was filed by 3 individuals, including Senior Professor Chandagupta Thenuara. The petition states that during an event held in Maradana on the 3rd of this month, the former Chief Justice had made a statement insulting the Supreme Court of Sri Lanka.
Following the Supreme Court decision that was issued yesterday against the Gazette notification issued by the President dissolving Parliament, several incidents were reported across the country yesterday.
The police said a complaint was received that a group had attacked the residence of the chairman of the Attanagala Pradesh Sabha, Priyantha Pushpakumara, from the SLPP. The police said the house was located in Kalagedihena Sapagaskanda and the incident had taken place around 8:50 last night. The wife and the 2 children of the chairman had been in the house at the time of the incident. The CCTV fixed at the house captured the moment a group arrived at the location. The Vayangada police said further investigations have commenced into the incident. I identified the vehicles. They belong to Attanagala UNP organizer Chanda Soma Saranalal. We have identified all of them by looking at the CCTV. If they are acting in this manner, we completely condemn this. News First made an inquiry regarding the allegations from Western Provincial Councillor Chanda Soma Saranalal. He says that though he travelled from the location, he strongly rejects the claims that an attack was carried out. UNP Pradesh Sabha member of Tangol, K. Saman Kumara, has been arrested on suspicion. Police said the suspect was arrested for assaulting a police sergeant and several others. The assault had taken place following an escalated argument on lighting up firecrackers. Police further noted that the police sergeant is currently receiving treatment at the Veerakati hospital. He had worked as a security officer at the Carlton House in Tangol. Meanwhile, a tense situation arose when a group including a UNP councillor of the Kotte Municipal Council attempted to enter the lake house. The person who is carrying out the assault is Dehiovita Pradesh Sabha member Sudit Chandana, who contested for elections as an independent candidate and is currently supporting the United National Party. We came looking for an ATM machine after court. We then saw one of our Kotte municipal councillors being assaulted opposite the lake house. Then a person who was using a crutch gave it to me and asked me to hit. Employees of the lake house convened a media briefing to explain about the incident that transpired yesterday. There is Sotti Upali's son-in-law. Kotte municipal councillor Harshani was the one who did this with Sudit Chandana. They said in quotes that they will go to lake house to remove all the banners. This is an organised attack. We request the IGP to look into this. If the councillors of the UNP are acting in this way, we will see how the big leaders in the party will act in the future. Views were expressed regarding this at several media briefings. We all witnessed how a group of UNP MPs invaded Lake House yesterday. This is the true picture of the UNP. Only once in history have elections ever being postponed, and the UNP is to blame for this. It is this group of individuals who speak of democracy. is attacking another individual what they define as democracy?
මේ රටට ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදය දෙන්න හදන. කිසිසේත්ම අනුමත කරන්න.
We do not approve what happened yesterday, and we will look into this matter and identify as to what really happened. You must also remember that on the 26th of October, media institutions, especially the Rupohani Corporation and ITN, had faced even more problems. We witnessed the manner in which Roger Senviratne, who is a member of the Provincial Council, an artist and a popular figure in our country, acted. After we re-establish our government, we will take action against Roger Senviratne. We will look into yesterday's matter as well. We do not have any reason to protect anyone.
ඊයේ සිදුවීම ගැනත් හොයලා බලලා කටයුතු කරනවා. මොකද අපිට කවවත් ආරක්ෂා කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ අපේ මන්ත්‍රීතුමයි.
Still in local news, 2 Navy personnel arrested by the Criminal Investigations Department over the abduction and assassination of 11 youth from Colombo and its suburbs between 2008 and 2009 were remanded until the 28th of this month. They were produced before Fort Magistrates Court this evening.
Police media spokesperson S.V. Ruwan Gunasekara, speaking to News First, said Petty Officer Imbulane Liyanage Upul Chaminda and leading seaman Sanjeeva Sena Nayaka were arrested. Petty Officer Upul Chaminda was arrested on the charges of demanding a ransom for the release of the abducted by contacting the relatives and forcefully taking away 500,000 rupees in ransom from the wife of one of the abducted individuals by summoning her to a location in Narammala. The suspect is also charged with summoning a relative of one of the abducted men and stealing 500 rupees through intimidation and of killing 11 abducted men. Leading seaman Sanjeeva Sena Nayaka is charged with abduction, unlawful detention and accessory to murder and conspiracy.
Gammadda. V-Force.
Come back to the news. Still in local news, Saman Ratnapriya and 3 other civil activists made a statement at the police special investigation unit today over a statement that allegedly jeopardized national security.
The General Secretary of the Pivithuru Helorumia had filed a complaint that the statement was made at a media briefing convened by the Puruvasi Balaya organization. Statements were recorded by Saman Ratnapriya, Sarath Vijayasuriya and Gamini Viyangoda at the Police Special Investigation Unit for about 2.5 hours.
We
will be acting against these people who have violated the constitution and are acting undemocratically. We will take action to free the country from these kinds of people.
Research Center of China declared open a new office of the Pathfinder Foundation today.
The visiting delegation held discussions with the founder of Pathfinder and its senior staff on a broader theme: cooperation between China and Sri Lanka in developing production capacity within the framework of BRI.
Today we have inaugurated the new office complex of the Pathfinder Foundation at its affiliate China Sri Lanka Cooperation Study Center. With the new entering into the new phase of work, the Pathfinder Foundation intends to be working much more deeper into the issues relating to the Sri Lanka and China, India, USA and Singapore and other friendly countries.
Sports First Allianz Platinum Awards 2018.
My mother doesn't like me lifting weights, but my objective was to hoist the Sri Lankan flag someday, and I was able to do that. This made my mother very happy too. My next target is to win the Platinum Awards and make my mother happy. I am Chamari Varnakulasuriya.
Sports First Allianz Platinum Awards 2018.
More news from the rugby arena. The 6th week clash between CRNFC and the Air Force in the Interclub Rugby League ended in CR's favour at Longdon Place as they won the game 36 points to 27. Meanwhile, Police will take on Army tomorrow at Police Park, and on Sunday Navy will host CHNFC at Valisara. And the most anticipated game of the league will kick off at Nithavala, where both the unbeaten teams, Kandy and Havelock Sports Clubs, will battle it out for the unbeaten tag. And of course, as I mentioned before in the news bulletin, we're coming to you live and direct from the News First studios here set up at the Echelon Square in Colombo, where we are falling in line with the festivities of the season. Of course, we have arranged a number of items here at the Newsfirst Echelon Square, Christmas Center at the Echelon Square in Colombo. We've been here for quite some time, and if you haven't got an opportunity to visit us yet, I do strongly suggest that you come down here and experience the festivities and the brilliant ambience that has been created for you here by Newsfirst. Of course, that brings a wrap to the news bulletin for tonight. Thank you very much for watching. Take care and God bless.